What's going on, fellow A+s? It's your boy Adam Perez. We're back once again with a brand new video for you guys today, as we're going to get into a brand new behind the scenes video for an upcoming film titled Alien Romulus. For those of you who don't know, we are diving back into the Alien franchise, this time directed by Fede Alvarez, as he tries his best to go ahead and bring back this franchise to its prime, if you will, very much heavily influenced by Ridley Scott's and James Cameron's Alien and Aliens. This movie is actually set to go ahead and drop literally a week from today when I'm recording this, August 16th. Tickets are officially on sale, and this movie has had some incredible trailers to certainly get the hype and interest for this movie just continuing to rise, to be quite frank with you. And so August 16th is the big day. You could probably get tickets for August 15th on the very early Thursday showings if you want to. But we do have ourselves a brand new Alien film. I've been really fascinated to kind of see how this movie has kind of come together. I think they've done a really great job in not only the trailers, but some of the featurettes that they have certainly dropped to give you some insight in regards to how this movie's being put together. Well, yesterday, I believe, or maybe a couple days ago, we did have ourselves a behind the scenes brand new look, a long clip, mind you, about 12 minutes long. It's pretty lengthy, of showcasing the practical effects side of things when it comes to Alien Romulus. So we're going to get the opportunity to listen to some of the cast members, some of the crew members in regards to what their experience was, and kind of react to what they're talking about. So sit back, relax. This is a pretty lengthy clip. I may be starting and stopping just for copyright issues. And look, again, I don't own any of this footage. I'm just doing it to help promote the movie itself and discuss it, because my level of enthusiasm is truly through the roof for this movie. So let me go ahead and bring this up for you guys here. I believe I have the audio on as well, so we should be good to go. Let me raise this volume here a bit, and let's go. Oh, is it somebody in the suit? That's legit.
Hey, Andy!
Fucking dying again.
Why the blind miner? Fall down the well.
Fucking dying.
Move this disc in every direction.
Oh, I love that. Look at that control he's using. Guess that's Fede Alvarez talking him through the direction.
The Corbelan set, the cockpit, was unbelievable to be in, and it's built on a gimbal. So we actually got to
Ooh, a gimbal.
feel what it was like to take off and to be in turbulence. And there's a lot of these sets really help with the acting, because you're really just reacting to what is in front of you. And they're absolutely incredible and massive and so immersive.
Wow.
So every single set I've been on is impressive. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it looks
such a
like
gift to
you're
be
right on the ship.
filming in sets like this, and also to be filming chronologically. It does a lot of the work for you.
I bet. Yo, let me stop it right there. You know, a couple things that jump out to me immediately when so first off, I love the shot of the face hugger coming out of the water. It's just interesting to me, like when we see it actually performed in their filming, how it literally is like the actual puppet itself kind of coming out of the water and just uncontrollably like turning on the side, hitting the actor in the face. But when you watch it in the trailer, the way that the special effects kind of build off of the way that it comes out. So one, we don't even see it turn on its side. It literally connects to the face, but just utilizing great editing work to kind of see it shoot out and then sort of grab the face at the same time. It's just interesting to kind of see how it's filmed compared to how we actually will see it when it actually is on the big screen. I also did find it interesting that she talks about the sets kind of being on a gimbal. When she talks about that, one of the first things that came to mind for me was, I don't know if you've ever seen the behind the scenes stuff for Inception, where they literally had, there's a scene in a hallway where you've got Joseph Gordon-Levitt and somebody else like running alongside the walls as the hallway is kind of turning on itself, or the bedroom is turning on itself. When you see it in the behind the scenes, it's literally on a gimbal that sort of moves and shakes the set and turns the set as they're trying to get their footing and run along the walls and the ceilings and stuff. And so it just really made for visually a beautiful effect on screen. But I do think that it is something impactful that that the actress in here talks about, in the sense of experiencing those movements, being on set, allowing you to, I don't want to say have to rely so much on your imagination, but feeling like you're there probably helps bring out some of the best performances you could possibly imagine. And while I would assume working on green screen and blue screens, well, that's great, and it certainly has a place in every film. I gotta think that actors are so thankful when they actually have something practical they can see and touch, and just really help bring out those emotions a lot better than the sense of just having to pretend that something is definitely there. So it seems like Fede Alvarez is really going above and beyond. I would be curious as to what the budget of this film is, if it manages to come in lower than a lot of the other Alien films. But I also find it fascinating that she talks about this film being filmed chronologically, because I don't believe most films are filmed that way. Television shows, I believe, are episodic in how they film. But movies tend to, hey, let's pick up this shot from this scene. Okay, let's move over here and pick up this shot from this scene. And it may not be necessarily all together. That's something that they put together in editing. But I kind of dig the idea of filming it chronologically, because I do think then as an actor, you're probably on board and in tune with where your character's mindsets are at, having things revealed to you at certain times that I think would allow you as an actor to then be able to bring sort of your better performance and kind of go along with the ride of these twists and turns and reveals and whatnot. So it just allows them to, I think, to connect a little bit more with their character, to be on that same emotional journey as them as the movie progresses. And so that's interesting, because I don't believe you hear that very often when it comes to movie making. And it truly is how fascinating, how quiet it is on set, and all the extra sounds added in post. Man, that's so freaking cool.
That's gonna stink. Whatever.
I love that it's like a practical suit. Like, it's not just a puppet, but like somebody's in there. And I'm sure there's probably
Once it's in, it's in.
extra controls for the mouth and the extra alien inside and stuff.
It really feels like we've traveled through time, and I'm getting to experience like the first time being on a movie set where they use pretty much all practical effects, but we get all the perks of a modern day filming experience, right? Because back then they didn't have that kind of a budget. Back then they didn't have like the tools and techniques that we have now, because we've adapted to, fast paced kind of work environment. We have less time to film a movie.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Shout out to is first off, shout out to Isabel Mercade, who's just everywhere these days. You may not have like Madam Web, but I definitely don't think Isabel Mercade was one of the issues behind it. So we had her in Madam Web. She's going to be in Alien Romulus. We just saw her on set of the James Gunn Superman movie as Hawk Girl also. So she's going to be everywhere, and I'm really fascinated to kind of see her range in something like a horror space film. But she does bring up a great point here, in the sense of this is really merging sort of old school filming techniques with modern day technology. Now that you have the budget to film clearly or use different cameras and certain angles and different shots you may not have been able to in the past, mixing that up with that practical effect, I got, it feels like she mentioned, it feels like she's probably going back in time, being such a modern day actor, to be on set that very much is filming in old school sort of techniques. I gotta think that's kind of got to broaden her horizons, and it does make me wonder, like, what keeps Hollywood from indulging in more of those things. I mean, granted, they are old school techniques, but some of those old school techniques certainly still work, you know. But when she mentions things like it's such a fast paced environment and they want you to knock out these movies relatively quick, that could be really what it all comes down to, is how quick can you pump these movies out. But when you clearly take care and attention to detail for your films, you know, you might have something special here.
Okay, say that. BTS.
Oh,
my gosh, dude. Hold on. I'm not joking. The only person we have.
That thing doesn't get hot, right?
You could start yours.
It takes place 20 years after the original movie. So that's roughly 20 years
Okay.
before the second movie.
Okay, so the right middle point between Alien and
where it's about
Aliens.
a bunch of kids, you know, very young kids, by early, you know, late teens, early 20s, that lives in this colony in the middle of nowhere. It's a mining colony where there's nothing for them, or like either you're a miner or you're a farmer, and that's all you get. And they dream about leaving that place, right? So they early in the story, they come up with a plan, a dangerous plan, that will have them break into a Weyland-Yutani facility, which is the company that we've seen in all these movies that runs the colony.
Oh, we can cut it up. Cut it.
Okay.
Yeah. All the three. Sure.
Oh my God, is that not creepy as F? What the? That's creepy, dude. Can you imagine filming on set and seeing that, like, as an actor? Yeah, I'd be terrified alone. I'd be terrified.
Aliens to me were weapons.
Yeah.
Hey, Ridley.
And the next chance is then to do what? To destroy where?
Yeah.
So maybe they were originally designed to come and find us the various planets in the galaxy. One would be Earth, where they arrive with these aliens, let two out, and they would give it to you, and they'd clean it up, right?
Yeah.
So it was technology, always.
I love Ridley's perspective here of how the aliens could have possibly have been used and engineered as weapons. But I also love Fede Alvarez's sort of insight in regards to the premise of this particular film, giving us an idea of the timeline. So there's a part of me that kind of wants to go back and watch the first Alien and then imagine this happening 20 years, and then 20 years after this movie, you know, being able to jump into something like Aliens, directed by James Cameron. So I dig the premise. I dig the premise alone.
And action.
So much fun.
Man, look at that lighting.
So today's the day. I've got my RTA mock
No,
system and
stupid ad.
Coyote appliances.
Ready and action.
Yeah, the original teams are back with us, and I think, you know, as an actor, it's scary because they know what this film is, and they're like, you better make a good alien film. And sometimes we're like, oh god, they're gonna hate it. And you know, there's nothing more gratifying when they come up to us and they're like, I had goosebumps, like this is amazing. Just the other day we had the first look of the xenomorph kind of silhouetted. And everyone on set just went deathly quiet because they were like, this is amazing. Moments like that makes you know you're kind of onto something.
Yes.
Yeah, I did hear that the original team that did Alien and Aliens were in fact back to help do this movie too. So talk about experience. Man, these actors look so invested when they're performing. I'm telling you, these sets really probably help bring out their best performances.
Hey. Hey.
It's all right. What's on it?
I told you she'd show up.
Our Xena was a slightly different design, but all based on the original
The
Alien film.
effects supervisor.
So to most people, it looked very similar. And then we're matching the amazing practicals that were built by Legacy. The team there did an amazing job, and we've been able to start with that where we need to do the augmentation, whether it's adding the tail to the animatronic or to the suit, or a full version of it. Like I said, if he has to fly or move in
Oh, so
zero
looks
G,
like they built
it's all
off of the
based
original
off those
concept.
physical suits.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
I like how they build off of that.
Oh, we're gonna show and tell.
see, there's the little
Oh,
area so that thing functions.
No way, he's got a grill.
And he's got snarl.
Yo. Ooh. Yo, I love how she said he's got a grill. Yeah, man, those silver teeth are pretty freaking deadly, but that's so cool to see how this all works mechanically. That's sick.
And action, fight.
Number 2 there, 1, 2, 3.
About there, right? Yeah.
The colony we built for the start of the shot.
Production
when
designer.
the camera kind of pans down and we follow Rain and Andy through the whole
Oh, it's
colony.
a great
We
shot.
started
The
with
lighting in here
exterior
is
build
incredible.
Of what we are saying is Rain's trailer. And then we followed through the colony, all within a location, and we landed on the colony affairs. The colony affairs, we built the interior there and the exterior facade, built that
Damn.
into the power plant with working
Wow.
operating cooling radiators behind it.
Damn, that's a huge set. That sounds like a huge set. No way. They built the ship too? A model ship? That's so sick. Wait. I gotta go back real quick. It looks like they're filming it. Did they use like not the volume, but they definitely have some. You can see like the LED lights of the clouds and stuff in the background. That's so cool. They really went above and beyond here, man.
Whoa.
Andy is all she has.
Andy and Rain's relationship. Okay.
And she's put into a terrible position of having to choose a life of survival and bringing her brother along. So we watch her struggle with that decision. And Andy is a synthetic. So it's
he's an android.
it explores what being human really means and
That's interesting.
what
Wait,
you do for your family.
so that's interesting. So did she just imply that Andy, the synthetic, is her brother? Because this other gentleman that we see here, I would assume that this is her love interest. Like I'm assuming she's there with her love interest, but I just thought maybe Andy was sort of just like an android accompanying them, sort of thing. I didn't realize that there was a family dynamic behind it. At least that's what I'm implying. If believe that they're implying. If you think they're implying something else, let me know. But when she says something about trying to explore the concept of what makes one family, that is a pretty fascinating one, that she refers to the synthetic as her brother. So there's clearly some level of humanity that she has a connection with this character. So I'm really eager to see how that plays out. Or is that her? No, I'm assuming that's her love interest, but maybe I'm tripping. Oh, what the hell is that? Is that a face hugger on the ceiling? Whoa. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
who has the experience. I think that's also really important. Like he knows what he's doing, and he knows what he wants. And he also doesn't take no for an answer in a good way. You know, when he has a vision or an idea, he follows through, and that's something that I've learned from him as well. Just his ability to execute something, and as somebody who wants to be a director, I'm learning so much from every day.
That's cool. I didn't realize that she had that promise in her in the sense of wanting to go on to do more than acting. And I do feel like more and more, I feel like as you get into your acting career, as you're in front of the camera, you get very curious about what happens behind the camera. And I'm always a big supporter of actors that want to take that next step into directing, or even to the point of directing something that they're kind of in. Like, I'm all for the idea of being able to expand your horizons and learn something new, sort of thing. So the fact that she's picking up on that is pretty fascinating. You know, just having somebody around that you can absorb things from. Like, she looks like she really enjoys being hands-on with how the practical effects are coming along, right? How you go about directing a film. And for those of you who don't know, she did mention the idea that Fede Alvarez comes from horror. The most recent things I believe you probably might remember him from, I think he did the Don't Breathe films. I don't know if he directed both of them, but he did do Don't Breathe along with the Evil Dead, the most recent Evil Dead, I think back from like early 2010s, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he definitely has a connection to horror.
Get back to their feet with no effort, basically.
Okay, and the
Come on.
I didn't expect that. I was just waiting.
This will speed up her metabolism. She was all herself.
Pues están esperando que entre algo y le corte la cabeza. Entonces después da la vuelta y cuando se anima a tirar la mirada para ahí, va a ver esos rayos de adentro. Un montón de tiempo.
They couldn't have asked for better casts, honestly. I mean, they're all amazing. They truly care, and they work so hard every day. But Kaylee's painting, obviously. I almost wrote the movie for her. I mean, I met her a few years ago. I saw her work, and I was constantly gravitating towards her work, accidentally watching things that she was in it, and then I watched something else I liked, and there she was. So when I started to write the movie, I usually do a fantasy casting, like I just pick up random photos of sometimes actors, of people that not even actors, or people that are actors have been dead for 20 years. And I put them on the board, on the wall, so I have a face to connect with the character I'm writing. And the first photo that went up at the board was Kaylee's photo.
Wow. That's gotta be, like, as an actor, that's gotta be pretty incredible to know that a director or the person making this film literally wrote it sort of with you in mind. The idea, like, I mean, the idea that he even was able to get Kaylee Spaney, I think, was pretty cool. That the first person he imagined, he approached and was able to certainly land her. You know, I don't know too much of Kaylee Spaney's work. I did recently see her in Civil War. I personally wasn't necessarily a big fan of the movie, and just her, not her performance so much, but her character, I just could not stand. Just super annoyed me. So I didn't necessarily care for her as the character in Civil War whatsoever. So this is probably going to be like that I know of, at least, my second introduction to Kaylee Spaney and her work. And just from the trailers alone, I think she's going to do a remarkable job in here. So I am fascinated to see how good of an actress she truly is. Seeing her from something in Civil War compared to Alien Romulus, just two completely different, like, polar opposites of type of films. So I am eager to see where her range is, and the idea of maybe erasing the idea of her being her character from Civil War and embracing her as somebody else. So I'm really eager to see what she brings to the table here.
Falls here, you see this movie, and that's ideally you kind of do this.
Oh, she's falling out of the airlock. Man, that's hella impressive. The way that that video stopped, it does make me wonder if there is more to the video somewhere else. The fact that that was 12 minutes long, I mean, I think that's a huge lengthy behind the scenes. I wonder if that's something that will maybe pop up on like a DVD special feature or something like that. But it does make me wonder if there was more to that behind the scenes footage somewhere else. But I had been seeing it promoted as this 12-minute long video, so I don't know if there's more anywhere else, but I might have to certainly go look for it. But I mean, again, even just seeing the very last shot here of the spaceship that they went ahead and sort of recreated and built, seeing them still use model ships and whatnot with practical effects and maybe even some digital backgrounds and stuff to kind of see how all that is going to blend in sort of a digital outer space or a digital world that they're certainly creating. I think is really going to blow us away and kind of immerse us sort of more than ever sort of back inside of this cinematic world that is the Alien franchise. So look, as a big movie guy, I personally love seeing how films come together. I truly do. When I go to the movies, I expect movie magic. And this is sort of movie magic to me, to be able to take certain things, put them together, whether that be great camera work, great directors, great performers, great visual effects artists, everybody who is so elite at what they do. It's so fascinating to see how it looks when it's being filmed, and then to kind of see the transformation and post production of all that hard work being put onto the big screen once again. And so I think, if anything, Alien Romulus has really captured my attention in regards to just the old school techniques that Fede Alvarez is bringing, mixed in with current modern techniques, and hopefully allowing us to recapture the incredible magic that was the Alien franchise from what was 1 and 2. It seems like he's got himself a pretty original concept and an idea that builds off of those two particular films. And so, look, Ridley Scott has given this guy his approval. I know he's worked really closely with picking the brains of Ridley Scott and James Cameron to hopefully bring us a really original film. So I'm rooting for this film to do extremely well. It's behind the scenes and featurettes like this that really get me amped up. And I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw also. If there's anything that I missed that you guys want to further talk about when it comes to this behind the scene clip, please go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the comment section box below, guys. But that will do it.